What's up, everybody? This is Guyman Adams from MidCityDigital.com, and in today's video, I want to talk about a WordPress security plugin that can help you hide your entire WordPress installation from potential hackers. Now, disclaimer, it's not 1,000% foolproof, but it's pretty good. Now, and this is also a free plugin. It does have a pro version you can pay for that has a few extra enhancements in it, but it's called WP Hide and Security Enhancer. So let's take a look at this. First off, we're going to be working with one of my demo sites, like we always do, and to get to your WordPress admin area, I don't think I particularly pointed this out in the previous WordPress installation video, but you probably know it by now if you're working with WordPress. There's a couple of different ways to log in. Now, we could go here to my client area and go in here into my services and pick the account that I want to work with, click anywhere on the row. I'm going to do midcitysample.com. We'll click here. And we could hop over here into cPanel, and that would give us this option to basically scroll all the way down here and go into WordPress, click there, and it would take you to this, and you can see I got my staging area there, which by the way, when you're testing out some of these plugins for the first time, it might be a good idea to try them in your staging area first, just to triple check and make sure they're working the way you want them to first, and then push them out. But a lot of these plugins, they'll work just fine right out of the gates. But if you want to be sure, try the staging area. But you could log into your admin area, your WordPress admin area. Keep in mind, this is different than your client area, okay? Now, you could click right here and it'd pop you straight into it. And I had this open to already show you. I don't know why I forgot that window was already open. But anyways, you could do that. But generally speaking, what you're going to be doing most often is going to, I guess this is already, you would normally be going to whatever your website is, .com/login, and that will bring you to WP-login. So with this new plugin we're about to install, this is one of the very first things that we're going to change. Because if a hacker really wants to get into your site, this is the first place they're going to check, and they're going to start brute force attempting to log in. There's all sorts of resources out there on the web for hackers for commonly used logins and passwords, and they'll try them all. And particularly if you've become kind of a high-profile person or your website's gotten kind of popular, you definitely want to hide your login page for sure. Particularly, when you know that there's people who have eyes on you and they're checking out your stuff all the time, they're going to try to get in here. They're going to try to find this. So let's go ahead and log in. Yeah, it was for this account. I set it up as admin 8. Just again, try to do better admin usernames than just admin. So even just adding a few extra characters or doing something will help, but you want to make it even stronger than that. Make it something weird. But I got my password over here for this. And so here we are in WP-admin. So, keep this in mind. This is where you're always going to end up when you log in. This is going to be your admin area for WordPress. So we want to hide that as well. So the first thing we want to do is hop over here to plugins, and let's go to add new. And let's type in, see, I was already looking for it, WP hide. And you can see there's a few that will do this similar function. This one, I guess, is a little bit newer. This one used to be like the #1 WP hide and security enhancing plugin that we had. Now this one's on the market, so I haven't checked this one out. It might be pretty good. Looks like it's got a lot more installs and all this. So that's cool. We might have to check that out in the future, see how it compares to the one I'm going to be talking about today. You can see this one's, widely used. It's, got some good reviews. It's compatible with the latest version of WordPress. Latest updates were just a couple of weeks ago. You can click here and find out more details about it. You can check all that out. So, I mean, you can do all kinds of stuff with this. You get a custom admin URL, block the default admin. You can block everything from your login, your sign up, the includes path, the content path, everything. So let's go ahead and hit install now. And let's hit activate. So now once you've installed and activated that, you'll see it pops up here in your plugin list. And then let's go over here on the side. You've got WP hide in this menu on the left hand side. So if you go to setup, it's not really going to tell you, give you all the details that you need to start changing, but it'll give you kind of an overall view of what's going on with this. It'll tell you about the basic functionality, and it'll have the sample setup you could run, and it's got a video you could check out that goes into more. But let's just jump right to it. I want to go over here to admin, and right here you can see, should anything go haywire while you're working on this? Because as you start to change your admin, your login and your admin URL, it's going to pop you out of your session here, and you're going to have to log back in under the new URL once it's set up. So in case for some reason that doesn't work out, they give you this automatically generated link right here. So just to be safe, I'm going to copy that down over here on my clipboard on the side. Throw that there. All right. All right. So you don't want to get stuck in a situation where you can't even get back into your own admin. So, good to save that. So first things first, new WP-login. You can rewrite that right here. So I was playing around with this earlier, and I'm just going to do sample-login.php. Now you have to make sure you put the .php on the end of this one. And you could start right there, and it has this option right here to block the WP login default just out of the gates. So this way, people will just get a 404 if they actually try to go to that. Let's just do this step first and hit save. And generally, this will send you an email like pretty much each time you change these admin settings. So you'll get an email notification about this. So keep an eye out for that. And let's also go over here to admin URL. And similar thing, the default is /wp-admin and /login. So let's put where did I put before? I guess let's just put sample admin. But get creative with these things, and make it something that's not super obvious, like sample-admin. I mean, that's kind of a bad idea, I suppose. But I don't know, put something creative, something weird. You don't want people to just randomly guess what it is and get in there somehow or another. But so you'd leave it like that, and you don't have to put the PHP on the end of that one. That's just identifying the directory. And similarly, you could block it to such an extent that it would give people a 404. Let's go ahead and hit save. And boom, see, it kicks us out. So now we're going to have to log back in under the new login area. So check this out. At this point, if somebody... okay, hold on a second. Did it actually leave me in there? No, it didn't. Okay. So I just had to clear the cache. So now, since we didn't set the thing to send this to a 404, we can still get here, but let's try Let's type in login. So see, now it says page not found. So that's what people might normally go to, or they might normally try to go to wp-login.php. Okay, so now we need to go back in and block that right there. So that'll be the next step. But similarly, wp-admin. Let's see what this one does. I think the same thing with this one. Okay, for some reason it's like remembering me. I guess I got to clear my cache or something. But, that's strange. Let's log back out. I want to triple check this. /login. See, it's not even taking me anywhere now. Okay. Let me close this out. Maybe it's that Softaculous thing being open, thinking that I'm logged in somehow or another. wp-admin. Okay. So see, now it's redirecting me here. Let's jump in and fix that real quick. I'm going to grab my new password I just made a minute ago. There we go. Let's go back to WP hide. Let's go to admin. And yeah, let's go ahead and block default WP login, because it was still coming up, when, initially it would kind of hide it, but, you just pop in through there and it would end up redirecting you ultimately. Let's hit save. All right, there's that. Now let's go under admin URL. Same thing here. Save. All right. So let's real quick. Let's go ahead and log back out just to double check on this. Let's go back over here. I'm gonna try to clear my cache there. Let's put wp-admin, see what it does. Doesn't do anything. Let's see, wp-login, same thing. Okay, good deal. So now we got to put sample-login.php. There it is. So now it's pretty well blocked. So let's do this again here, jump in here. And one thing I'm gonna do is turn off this coming soon page. I'm gonna go ahead and disable that. That's kind of getting in the way here. All right. So real quick, basically, without the coming soon page on there, it would kind of look like this. And then you go /login, page not found, wp-admin, page not found. So that's great. So now, it's just a little bit more inconvenient for hackers to try to figure out what's going on with your website. I mean, if you're using a default WordPress theme, it doesn't take a hacker to figure out that you're using WordPress, right? So, but let's say you're using a really fancy theme that was all done up and finished and really prim and proper. Hackers could still inspect the page and see all this code over here. And so we could look here in all this code and see. I'm going to go to an easier way to view this, because this is going to end up looking weird on the video if I do it that way. But let's just do view page source, and we can really look at this like big and wide right here. So you start scrolling down here. Let's do find. Man, I can already see a bunch of references to all the different themes and stuff. So if you just start a search for WP within the source code, you immediately start to see, like WP includes. We got at least 4 references here. You could also probably find, yep, there's WP content. So these are all little indicators to hackers that, oh, this is definitely a WordPress installation. When you see WP-whatever, You can also, in a lot of cases, see there's strange things like ID tags for the theme. There's all sorts of stuff kind of stashed away in here. Yeah, like 2020, you can see the style sheet here. Yeah, right here, like you have link reference style sheet ID equals 2020 dash style dash CSS. So all of these are indicators to hackers of what exactly you're using on your website. There's also funny thing. I'm going to go ahead and bring this up as well. Let's close this out. What was the name of this site? I was looking at this the other day. What is that WordPress theme? I think that's what it was called. What WordPress theme is that.com? This is hilarious. This is really funny. I mean, you don't even have to be a hacker to figure out if somebody's using WordPress in a lot of cases, unless they do these security measures like I'm talking about. Let's say right now we just copy this and jump over here and paste this in. I guess you don't really need this right here for this guy. Let's just search midcitysample.com. Let's see what WP theme is that.com. Let's see what they have to say. And of course, it reveals we're using 2020 as the theme. Here's all this information. It shows the author and all this, shows the preview. It shows what plugins we have. Currently, we only have Ignite up. So, any and all plugins you have on your site, they'll show up on sites like this, like a big fat list of them. I mean, it'll show you exactly what the website's using. So that's kind of freaky. This is like maybe Hacker 101. I don't even know if it's 101. It might be lower than that to figure out what somebody's using on their WordPress site. That's crazy. So we want to fix that. Let's go back into sample-admin. So, once you have those set up, they're kind of interchangeable. It'll take you to sample-login, admin 8. Make sure I got this wonky password over here. Jump back in, log in. Let's go back over to WP hide. Now, let's go see, is it under rewrite? This is where you want to start with the rewriting of everything on your site. So, there's a lot to this. I'm not going to go through every single one of these, but look at all this stuff you can hide. You can hide everything about the theme, the includes path, your WP content, your plugins themselves, uploads, the uploads folder. Every time you add a new image on one of your pages or on a post, it goes into your uploads folder in WordPress, the default uploads folder. Comments, author, search, all this stuff. Some of these, you can take your time and kind of go through and play with some of these. A lot of these aren't going to be quite as vital straight up front as these right here. So you're going to start with these. And yeah, I mean, this example of template, that's a good place to start. Let's just put sample template. So this just changes the name of the themes folder. So, you won't even see, that exactly. So you can see in the description over here that it'll change from being something like whatever your domain is /wp-content/themes/divi, for example, and it'll change it to your domain name /template. Just wipes it out. So that's really cool. Now, same for the style sheet. Like, a lot of the style sheets, it actually has the theme name in the name of the style sheet in a lot of cases. So you kind of want to hide that too. So you could put sample style.css. You have to put the CSS on the end of that one. Yep. And also remove the description from the header from the style file. This is pretty key as well. So let's clear the cache there. Whoa, that took me away. Oh no. Let me go back. Let me go back over here. Okay. Oh no. Okay. I should have hit save before I cleared that cache. Sample dash template. And then sample dash style. And then let's open this. Strip out all metadata from style file. That's a smart idea. So let's hit save on that. Now, let's check something out. Let's open this in a new tab. Let's check out that page source again. And let's... Okay, so now we still see the ID coming up for 2020, the 2020 theme. But look at this. Where it says the style sheet is, it's now changed and it actually says sample template in the code. So it's hidden at least that much. So, you know, we can keep going in here. Let's go to WP includes. Let's do the same thing. Sample includes. And let's see. Block WP includes files from being accessible through default URLs. Yes. Save. Let's do the same thing for content. Because there's going to be all kinds of places over here in your source code. Let's see. WP-content. Let's see. Yeah, see, it's all over the place right here. WP content, like this, it'll show where exactly your plugins are at. So let's get rid of that. Sample content. Again, get creative with these names, or you could just put content, or just, you know, if you just want to make it look super generic, you can do stuff like that. You could say my content or whatever. And again, block the default path to that, to WP content. Yes. Let's hit save. Let's do the same with plugins. Let's go over here. Now, this one's kind of funny. Depending on what you put here, sites like this could potentially think that your website is a Drupal website and not even WordPress. So that's kind of funny. Yeah, so like plugins, you know, anywhere there's any reference to plugins is going to pop up all throughout your code. So we only got this one reference here since we don't really have any content on the site. We don't have a lot of plugins. But if we had a bunch of plugins, this would be littered with references to the plugins folder. So we're going to hide that as well. So here's the funny thing. I mean, you could put apps, you know, that'd be fine. First of all, let's check what's going on over here at this point now that we've changed a few things. Ooh, it does not appear to be a WordPress site already. That's funny. But under this, under your plugins path, if you put modules, and then, see here, you know, you can even hide the names of the specific plugins. So, yeah, you can name this one editor, and you can name this one maintenance, however you spell that. I always spell that wrong. Yeah, okay. Page, let's say my page later. Let's go ahead and, you know, you can do that for each individual plugin as well to like mask it even further. So that's really cool. Let's hit save. And there we go. Everything's kind of acting crazy here for a second. Refresh. There we go. Let's go ahead and do this one because, again, we want to block the full path to that WP content / plugins. Let's hit save. Uploads. I mean, something like media would probably be fine. Let's just put media, and hit yes, save. Generally, from here, this is kind of where I hold off on going any further into these things. But it's smart to maybe check under some of these. Block the license text, block the README, block the WP activate PHP. This one I've seen get messed with a number of times for sure. You can block the cron job. This is something that just regularly kind of handles scheduled events, as it were. You can block the sign up page. You can block the registration, and any other WP files. So that's pretty smart to hit right there. Other than that, some of this other stuff like comments and author, I'm not too worried about that at the moment. You certainly could block all that. You could put something else like, user input. So I'm not worrying about that at the moment. So take your time with that. Now, since we've done that, let's check again. Oh, okay. All right. Let's see. I want to check this. Plugins. All right. Well, yeah, I did something playing around with this the other day that I think when I changed this to modules, it because in Drupal plugins are modules and vice versa with WordPress. It's like they're the same thing, but yeah, at one point this site brought it up saying, this appears to be a Drupal site. So I found that kind of funny. Must have been some of the other settings that kind of threw that off. But you get the idea. Now let's jump over here into general HTML. This is another key area. This is more yes and no kind of things. Real simple here. Now this is where you can kind of start getting rid of some of these other indicators that you find in here, like these ID references, ID 2020 and all that. So let's do this. Oh man, there's a lot of stuff here to go ahead and hit. So we're going to remove this. So WordPress generator data, auto-generated meta generator tag within WordPress. So it'll get rid of all this kind of stuff. Remove other generator meta. Yes. So anything with your theme name or the version, it'll get rid of all that. So, like all these version numbers, gone. Remove short link meta. I don't know what that one necessarily does, but let's get rid of that one too. DNS prefetch. Okay. DNS prefetching allows you to resolve domain names, perform a DNS lookup in the background before a user clicks on a link, which in turn can help improve performance. I don't know if that matters that much. Remove resource hints. That's interesting. This one. Remove WLW manifest metadata. Yeah, this is used by Windows Live Writer. If you don't typo application, this is just unnecessary code. So let's definitely get rid of that. Disabled output. Okay, this might be good to kind of cover that up as well. That might throw another indicator in there. If it has this WP JSON thing in there, that might be another indicator for a hacker to be like, oh, hey, here we go. So let's do this over here. Remove RSD link meta. So really simple discovery service endpoint. Okie dokie, let's hide that as well. Adjacent post. Okay. Da, 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 da. Okay. Profile link. Yeah, so this would be, I guess, like user profile links or something. Um, this one I would leave alone. Remove canonical link. This one, be aware of this one, especially if you're using any kind of SEO plugins like Rank Math or Yoast, because a lot of times, it's looking for a canonical link, however you say that, or it's most preferred page, most preferred legit version of the page. So I would leave this one alone. It could interfere with that. It might not. So you might play with that. I'm going to leave that alone for the moment. Let's hit save. Admin bar. So you could remove this admin bar that comes up top if you wanted to. I don't know why you'd want to for the admin, but say you want to remove it for the editor. These are different user roles that you can set up. That's like a whole other conversation. I think I talked about user role editor in one of the previous videos, but say you want the editor, author, contributor to not have access to whatever shows up here. I mean, once you start installing fancy new themes and plugins, you're going to get all kinds of stuff up here in your menu bar, your admin menu bar. And definitely hide it for the subscriber. Now, generally, WordPress sites aren't typically set up to where subscribers are accessing anything that looks like this, or anywhere within any admin area, unless it's some kind of like some weird, blogging site that, you're having people sign up on. That's, I don't know. I don't know why anybody would do it like that at this point. That's just kind of silly. Anyway, moving forward. Okay, so we got that. Feed. That doesn't really matter. Robots. Disable admin URL within robots.txt. That's a good idea. This is another way people can kind of find little paths into your website. Emoji. Here's another one. Disable emoji. This reference doesn't need to be anywhere in your code. That's just stupid. That's just dumb. You can leave it here in the Tiny Mice editor or whatever. That's fine. Save. Let's go under styles. Okay, here again, this is where, over here in the source code, you can find like these weird version numbers. Like, man, this thing needs to go away. Here we go. Like these version numbers right here, you can see that. You want to be able to get rid of stuff like that. So this should take care of that. Let's remove that version number. And here's that stupid ID thing. The ID tags in so many cases are completely useless. I don't know why they're even in the code in the first place in a lot of cases. I mean, there's reasons to have that in some cases, but not too often. Let's just get rid of that. It doesn't really do anything just sitting there in the code this way. So let's hit save. All right. Scripts. You want to remove the versions of the scripts because, hackers will be keeping up with every version of everything and kind of like, oh, he's got this outdated version of these scripts. Okay, ha ha ha. Let's go in and do this, do that. Hit save here. That should mask that. Oh, embed. You could probably leave this one alone for now. Yeah. I guess you could do this. I don't know why you would necessarily need to. This is sort of weird on that one. Headers. Remove link header being set as default by WordPress, which outputs the site JSON URL. Let's remove that because that does kind of put that kind of information out there. Remove X powered by header. Sure, let's do that. Because again, it'll, you see this kind of stuff. Um, and I guess you could do this one too. Um, I don't know, that's too terribly important for everybody. But again, we're digging a little far into some of these, a little further into some of these settings here. Uh, Remove comments from HTML source code. That could be handy, yes. Because a lot of times, and a lot of the code that's behind all of these WordPress websites and whatever platform you're using, there's comments in there. And, by comments, it's not like, hey, your site sucks. It's references to the source code itself, like what each portion is doing, like begin WordPress, and then it'll start like, some WordPress code. And then it'll say, begin header section, begin menu, stuff like that, end menu. And it'll have little comments like stuff like that. So you could hide that, because otherwise it's just putting extra code on the page that might actually kind of slow your site down. So in a way, plugins like this can kind of speed things up just a tiny little bit. I mean, it's like imperceptible to humans, but might speed it up a little bit. You could try to minify your HTML. I would proceed with caution on this one. Depends on what theme you're using and how you've set up your style sheets and everything. This could potentially break things. So I mean, it says right here, minified JavaScript might produce errors for specific plugins. So again, with some of these settings, maybe try it in your staging area first before just going for it. So I'll generally kind of leave this one alone initially, maybe play with it later. You could disable the right click of the mouse, like over here, where I can right click and inspect it. I don't know if that'll probably work in this browser. I think the Brave browser is kind of interesting, so let's see if that does anything here. But that way people couldn't right click and view your images or download them, whatever, theoretically. And then remove general classes from body tag. Again, you might end up with some weird errors, so proceed with caution on that. We'll leave that alone. Remove ID from menu items. This is pretty smart to do too, I suppose, but I don't know. Let's leave that one alone for now. That might cause some issues. Remove classes, same type of thing. This is all getting into stuff that could potentially affect your actual layout and stuff like that, different plugins. So I'd proceed with caution on any of the rest of these. So let's save that. Let me go back over here to this rewrite. It feels like, yes, here in this theme section, I kind of overlooked something, it feels like. No, we got that? Okay. So, all right, so FYI, if you do a child theme, this is for people maybe with a little bit more experience with WordPress, a lot of times you'll download one main theme that you kind of start off as your base, and you'll create what's called a child theme. That's a kind of a whole other video I should do about that. But if you do a child theme, where over on that child theme, you can begin to make style sheet changes, but you still have the core framework of the main theme that you're working with. So if you do a child theme, generally that'll pop up down here. I was trying this on a different site a little ways back, and I was seeing that. So that's pretty cool. You could even hide that and create a whole new path for just that. So anyways, let's go back over here. Let's hit refresh on this. Did we break anything? No, seems to be all good. I'm right clicking and I can't bring anything up. Now I can't even, see what's going on in here. But yeah, you can't just basically right click on it. I mean, you could, there's other ways to view the source code, but that's interesting. Let's check again over here, see what this is doing. yeah, it still says over here on this website that it doesn't even appear to be a WordPress site. Um, and let's, oh man, I shouldn't have closed that source code there. Let me go back over here to this. I want to be able to look at this. I'm going to re-enable that right click just so I can take another look at this source code. Let me refresh this. And now we can view the source code again. So yeah, this all looks completely different. Now you can see in here, we've got sample includes instead of WP dash includes. Sample template. Even the Ignite Up coming soon maintenance plugin. Now that just says maintenance. It doesn't even reference it. That's interesting. Sample admin right here. So many things. Uh-oh, here we go. We got something hanging out here. WP toolbar. Skip to toolbar. So, there might still be a couple of little references to WordPress in here. Here's one right here. Oh, this is coming up because I'm logged in. Silly me. Okay, so okay, let's go. Let's go back to the site here. Now let's double check that view page source. Let's do a search. WP. Oh man, so there's still a few things hanging out in here. That's interesting. So we still got this 2020 style that's showing up. So I would encourage you to try to play around with these things a little bit. And slowly but surely, all this is going to slowly start disappearing. Anyway, we've certainly minimized it and made it a little bit harder. So let me log back in. All right, admin 8. And so clearly there's some stuff in there that, maybe, we were seeing all these things. We could probably remove these. This is probably a lot of what's going to get rid of some of these other WP and ID tags that we were seeing in there. So you can keep going through here. And look, here we go again. General classes from body tag. I should have went ahead and hit that one too. So we'll hit that. All right, let's try that. Maybe that'll make a difference. I mean, again, I'm logged in here, so it's going to end up showing the admin menu while you're logged in, so you'll still see that. So that'll probably, I bet that'll still show some WP stuff. Yeah, okay. So let's hop out of there, log out. Go back to the site. And kind of one way or the other, just take time to go through and you'll find these different things you can change, and it'll at least limit this. I can't seem to get rid of this part. This is tricky. So we still do have one style ID popping up, and I can't seem to get rid of it. That's quite annoying. So I've tried this plugin on a whole bunch of other themes, not using the generic WordPress theme that comes with WordPress. And, within other themes, within building your own theme, you don't even build it with, a whole bunch of these WP references and stuff. You just, build whatever. So anyway, I wanted to put this one out there primarily to hide your admin area, and that way you at least put some kind of a barrier, slow down at least a few hackers, the ones who are looking for low-hanging fruit. You want to just kind of throw them off course, and they might try to dig in a little bit, and chances are they'll eventually just get frustrated and move on to an easier target. So this is just one of many different security plugins you could try out, and this is one that I've used on a number of sites, and it's worked quite well. And again, you can check out the pro version of this. Just take a quick glance over here. So here's your pro version. Support for all services, all servers, WordPress multi-site, blah blah blah. Setup interface. I would assume there's all sorts of more. Oh yeah, the interface looks a lot different here. Wow, text replace. That's excellent. CSS processor. Oh, I have to get the pro version of this right now. I'm seeing stuff here right now that's would be an excellent add-on. So, okay, that's weird. Just wanted to see. Well, if I wanted to get the pro version, what would that cost me? Pricing. Let's find out real quick and we'll wrap up this video. So single site would be $39, not too shabby. For a developer like me, one-time price, $130. That's pretty neat. Cool. Well, there you go. There's WP Hide and Security Enhancer. And yeah, the next one I would probably look at would be WordFence, and that one's like a whole other video because similarly, it has a whole bunch of details in it. And I found that luckily they don't tend to conflict with each other so far that I've found. So you can have one that will just like hide the code in the background, and you have another that sends you alerts when people are trying to do this or that, hacking your site or whatever, and it checks for malware and all this stuff. So that's a whole other video. But check out WP Hide and Security Enhancer and beef up your site security a little bit. And that's it for now. I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.